Army of today is the Army of tomorrow.
A new look.
The guys coming in today have to operate so many systems.
As soon as you get loaded up, we're going to move out at 40 miles an hour.
They have to be almost a video game kind of nut guy that can operate stuff.
Renegade, eyes on. Right.
And they got to be a warrior at the same time.
Go. Get out! Get out!
A faster force.
The 82nd gets in there by parachute. The 101st uses helicopters, and we're coming in with Strykers.
For a deadly mission.
Get down. Sir, I am.
The enemy's everywhere,
Down! Get down!
and you're everywhere. The ability of these things to maneuver quickly and quietly and get to where they need to be is just amazing.
Tonight, Stryker Brigade, transforming the United States Army.
From ABC News. This is Nightline. Reporting from Washington, Chris Fury.
In Iraq, the new year has begun the way the old one ended, in a spasm of violence and bloodshed. In the north, rising ethnic and political tensions led to assassination and revenge killing. And in central Iraq, the so-called Sunni Triangle, the guerrilla war against American forces shows no sign of letting up. Today, an Army helicopter was shot down west of Baghdad, killing one American soldier and wounding another. The helicopter, attached to the 82nd Airborne Division, crashed near Fallujah, now becoming a familiar flashpoint in this war. Tonight, American gunships attacked insurgent positions south of Baghdad. These airstrikes, part of Operation Iron Grip, are aimed at places where mortar and rocket attacks have been launched at American forces. Just how well U.S. troops are trained and equipped to fight a sustained guerrilla campaign may be the most critical question of the Iraq War. The Army, known for its Cold War emphasis on heavy armor, is betting billions on a controversial concept called the Stryker Brigade. The idea is to move combat teams more quickly than ever before in lightly armored vehicles that cruise at 60 miles an hour. The 1st Stryker Brigade is already on duty in Iraq, and as ABC News correspondent Don Daler reports, its soldiers are literally undergoing a baptism by fire.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get down!
A momentous thing happened in the chaos of those foggy, dark, pre-dawn hours December 17th, when the United States Army launched a massive raid on Samarra. It was something the world, and certainly the surprised residents of this central Iraqi city, had never seen before.
Where's your weapons? Guns.
In the confusion and noise and violence, as 10,000 soldiers looked for insurgents or their financiers, it's doubtful anybody there realized that history was being made.
Maintain security. Electric. This one first.
But it was certainly noted in Washington and on military bases everywhere. On this day, the U.S. Army was changed forever, when the Stryker Brigade, step one in the Army's transformation into a smaller, faster, smarter force, first went into combat.
Transformation is a different way of thinking, a different way of understanding, a different way of articulating the commander's intent on the ground, of his ability to visualize the battlefield.
Major Chuck Hodges is executive officer of Stryker Battalion 123. He spoke to Nightline during a sandstorm 2 days before the raid on Samarra.
Because the United States calls, he needs a force there. He doesn't need the answer to being, well, I can get it there in 6 months. All right. Transformation is mobility, the ability to pick an organization up, move it 2,000 miles with a small logistical footprint, and put it where the president needs it.
Samarra has been a thorn in the side as far back as recorded history as I know it in Iraq.
Lieutenant Colonel Buck James is the battalion commander.
One renegade, eyes on. Right.
He sees his job in black and white terms: clean up Samarra, using every asset his shiny new battalion has.
It was always kind of Dodge City, kind of the wild, wild west. My mission is to to find, to kill and capture these troublemakers.
To accomplish that mission in the seething, resentful urban flashpoint that is Samara,
I'll take left, you take right.
the Pentagon chose a brigade that didn't exist 4 years ago.
Go. Nothing there. Clear.
It was named for a new kind of vehicle, the Stryker, a moderately armed and armored personnel carrier redesigned from the rubber tires up.
One of the prerequisites for the new type vehicles is that they be able to get the soldiers to and from the battle fast. The Strykers are rated up to 60 miles an hour, but the drivers say on hard surfaces they can get this 20-ton giant up to 80.
The Strykers went from concept to combat in only 3 years. They are extremely popular with the company commanders.
The speed with which it happened is probably the most impressive thing.
That's part of what makes all this so unusual, how quickly the Army conceived of, built, and fielded a completely unique unit, with new vehicles, new technologies, and new tactics. For a normally slow-moving organization, it was a blitzkrieg attack on tradition.
The military is a conservative organization. We're slow to change, not because we don't want to change, but because we've had success in the past, and you don't want to, the old adage, you don't want to fix what's not broken.
We are the best Army in the world.
General Eric Shinseki, former Army Chief of Staff, is the man who gave the Army a stiff push towards its future. There was, and is still, considerable resistance among traditionalists. But with one Stryker Brigade now in Iraq and congressional funding locked in for an additional 5 others, the horse is out of the barn. They are designed for a new kind of war, a new kind of enemy.
I think the future of warfare is going to be more asymmetrical warfare with a non-contiguous battlefield, meaning there's not the enemy lines and the friendly lines, but the enemy's everywhere and you're everywhere.
The Stryker Brigade is designed to be flown or shipped to any trouble spot anywhere in the world within 96 hours, a goal the Pentagon admits is not even remotely possible yet. The Air Force simply does not have enough big planes. It must be able to function as an expeditionary force, that is, reliant on itself for 3 days for everything: firepower, support, maintenance.
They're going up here to another FOB.
But the key to the Stryker Brigade, what really sets it apart on a revolutionary scale, is its digital brain, the satellite-linked computer system that connects every vehicle and every soldier with each other, giving young squad leaders on the ground and colonels back at base the same instantaneous real-time information.
The advantage we have now is the capability through our systems to show that squad leader, that young 26-year-old man who's got the lives of 8 men in his hands, a layout and a schematic of the building that he is going to have to clear. And when that ramp comes down and he comes off the back, the first time they've seen that situation is not at that point in time.
Make your mamas proud!
Don't close, I'm getting over there. Okay, watch out.
But on that morning in December, when the 4th Infantry Division and the Stryker Brigade descended on Samara to root out insurgent forces there, none of this technology and none of this equipment had yet been tested in battle. It was literally trial by fire.
This is ABC News Nightline, brought to you by Sprint.